So this is a 10-part series on ideas that you can implement in your distribution center right away. No systemic change, very little process change, easy to implement. You're probably already doing that. So, this is part 7 of the 10-part series. Hopefully you got a chance to watch all part 1 through part 6 and implement those in your distribution center and let us know how that went. So part 7 is about keeping track of the travel time, right? Because what happens is when you're picking, right, when your operators are picking in your DC, obviously they are walking, right? And anytime people are walking, that is a unproductive travel time, right? That's something that you want to keep it as minimal as possible. That's why we do a lot of things to eliminate that travel, eliminate unproductive travel time, right? When an operator is walking from location A to location C or 10 or whatever, you don't want them walking so much, right? And there is an easy way to measure that. I mean, if you have a feeling that, hey, maybe there is an opportunity for me to understand or optimize this amount of walking that these guys are doing. So what you can do is you can buy simple pedometers, right? They're not very expensive. You can buy from Amazon at a very low cost, and you can give them and measure their steps that they are walking on a daily basis. Just have them wear this pedometer all day, and then at the end of the day, when they finish their work and submit their whatever documentation, whatever work that they finish, at that time have them write down the number of steps. So that will give you a insight as to how much all these how many steps these people are walking, and it will also give you can compare that against multiple people. I mean, obviously it's not going to be all same because that's the variable that we try to manage within DC, right? But if there is one person or two people or specific operation that people are walking way too many steps, you will know that, right? And you can then talk to your industrial engineer and then figure out ways to optimize that, or figure out ways to resolve that issue. But that's something that you can look at it right away, because that will give you some insight as to how big of this, I mean, is this a problem or how big of a problem this is, right? And you might even actually, when I worked for a big corporation, they would do this yearly health challenge, and we would all get pedometers for free pedometers, and it's not very expensive, and we would use that to measure our steps, and at the end of 2-month, 3-month period, we'll share our results and number of steps we walked and things like that. So that's something that you can, and you can even catch hold of that from the HR department and then you reuse them or something like that, right? So that's something to think about. Measuring that steps will give you some, I mean, if your WMS doesn't have that ability today, if your LMS doesn't have that ability today, measuring that number of steps that each picker, each operator is, walking on a daily basis will give you some insight as to, how much walking is happening and is there anything that you can do about it, right? Because once this is something that is a big thing that's happening, then you can do something to address it. So yeah, let me know how that goes and if you're able to implement this idea and what your findings are. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.